Hello and welcome to the Garden of Melissa. It is fall and I want to take you around and show you some of the things that you can work on in your garden when fall rolls around. Quite frankly, I have a mess. So let's go take a look. Here behind me, my garden is a little bit of a mess. It's time to do some fall cleanup. There's plenty of weeds that need to be pulled out, but also my peonies need to be cut down, trimmed down. They've all turned brown, and this is a great time of year to cut those plants down to the base and get rid of those leaves on top and make room for new leaves to grow in the spring. I am going to show you what I mean when I say to trim your peonies back. So here we go, let's take a look. Here we are at the base of the peony, and you're just going to get down in here. You're going to take your clippers to the bottom. You're going to cut it off and you're going to remove it out of the way. And you go on to the next one, clip it, pull it out of the way. You continue to do that until all of this plant is completely cut down. Then you want to discard the leaves. Don't put them in your compost. You want to completely remove them from your garden. Here is what the peony plant should look like once you've got it all trimmed back. Here is a bearded iris plant, and I am going to try to show you what I mean when I say to trim back your irises. I like to use scissors. I think it's a little bit easier. Now, like if it has a dead leaf like that, you can just pull those off. But for these leaves that are still green, you can just use, I think scissors work just about as easily as anything. And you just cut the tops off. Keep going around and cutting the green tops off. Here is what it should look like after you've got the iris trimmed back. Now again, with your bearded iris, you don't want to leave those leaves in the garden. You want to completely discard those leaves. Don't put them in your compost pile. You need to completely get rid of them. That really helps cut down on the disease of your plants in your garden. Now we're moving on to a Siberian iris plant. I'm going to go ahead and trim it back now, even though the leaves are still green. I have found that it's much easier to cut the leaves back in the fall than it is to wait until the spring. In the spring, the leaves are brown and dead, but very hard to cut. So let me show you how I like to go about cutting those. I just take my scissors and start at the base and just start cutting away. Like that. This is what your Siberian iris should look like once you have them all cut back. So the daylilies that you see behind me, I want to talk to you about next. They have some brown sticks that are sticking out the top that I would refer to as a stalk. Now is the time of year when you can pull those stalks out. Honestly, if you don't want to take the time and energy to pull the stalks out now, it's perfectly fine. You can wait until the spring and just pull all the dead leaves and the stalks off at the same time. But removing the stalks in the fall makes for a tidier look throughout the winter season. So here's some of the daylily stalks. I'm going to just try to show you. Usually you can just grab a hold of them and just pull them out like that. I'm so sorry, this is such an up close, but anyways, just grab a hold and they should just pull right out, and you can take all of these dead stalks out. It makes everything look just a little bit nicer and cleaner. If you have false indigo or baptisia in your garden, now is also the time to cut that back. You just get down into the base of it and clip it all off. So I've showed you some of the basic steps for cleaning up your garden in the fall. Basically, when you're in your garden, if you see something that looks dead, brown, like it's completely died back, go ahead and trim it back, clean it up, get it ready for the fall. It'll come back again with new life in the spring, and it just helps make everything look tidier for the winter. It helps cut down on insects and diseases. Here are some seed pods that are full of seeds. And if you take a close look at this one right here, you can see the little seeds inside there. The pod has opened up and some of the seeds have already spilled out. These will reseed themselves. If you collect those seeds and you want to put them somewhere else, This is a great time to do that if you want to try to get these flowers started somewhere else in your garden. This is also the time of year when you want to take down your hummingbird feeders, take them inside, wash them out with some warm soapy water, and get them put away for winter. And don't forget to start filling your other bird feeders. The birds love sunflower seeds. It really helps them make it through the winter. So this is a great time to start remembering to fill up those feeders and keep them full through the whole winter so you can enjoy watching the birds. Here behind me is a newly planted purple rope locust tree. Now I planted this tree in the spring, but I don't want you to think that now just because it's fall you can't plant things. Fall is actually a perfect time for planting things like trees. It's also the time when you want to plant some of your spring blooming bulbs like daffodils, alliums, or tulips. Fall's a great time to get some things in the ground so they can get started growing for next spring. So when you're planting fall bulbs, the first thing you want to do is lay your bulbs out where you want them to be planted. Then we pull back the mulch of the area that we want to plant, like this. Make sure you give yourself plenty of room to place the dirt that you're going to be digging out. Now I have a nice tool on the end of my drill that helps me dig my holes, like so. Alright, then I take the trowel if I need to clean out some of the excess loosened dirt that I have, and then I continue back and forth with the drill and the trowel until I get the desired depth. Alright, now I want to check and make sure that I have the appropriate depth of the hole. Once I have that, then I can go ahead and place my bulb right down in the hole and cover it back up with all the loose dirt, and then make sure you cover the loose dirt with the mulch that you removed. Thanks for watching this short video. Even though it's fall, you don't have to stop gardening. There's still plenty of things you can do in the garden once fall rolls around. With that being said, I've got plenty of my own work to do. Thanks for watching.